Hi there, welcome to GOV-TV and a program that we would like to call How to Save Money and Save Time by Taking Public Transportation, specifically ABQ Ride and the New Mexico Rail Runner Express. Hi, I'm Rick DeReyes. I'm the Public Information Officer for ABQ Ride. Let me introduce you to the guests we have today. First of all, on the left side of your screen, that would be Jay Fott. Jay is the marketing manager for the New Mexico Rail Runner Express. And right next to Jay is Annette Baez. Annette is the Associate Director for the City of Albuquerque Transit Department, ABQ Ride. And it's important that we do this just about this time because we want to tell you about all the options you have to taking public transportation to the New Mexico State Fair. And not only to the state fair, but you can take it from practically anywhere around the state as long as you're near the rail runner. And we'll explain how you can do that and save in going to the state fair as well. First of all, let me talk to Annette because we want to find out ABQ Ride is involved in the state fair in that ABQ Ride runs shuttles. Now, these shuttles are all during the run of the fair, but they are during the weekends of the fair.
That's correct. They're going to run on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from noon until 11:30 p.m. at night. And so basically these free shuttles are going to make it a more convenient way for individuals who get off the bus at Louisiana and Central to get to the main gates at the state fairgrounds.
Now, where do they catch the shuttle?
So the Casino Downs is right there, and so it's basically in that vicinity, and we'll have some vans there, and they just need to walk down into that area, and then we'll shuttle them again to the main gates at the New Mexico State Fair.
There will be an ABQ Ride employee at that location.
That's correct. They'll be at both ends, actually. They'll be near the main gate, and they'll be near the Casino Downs there, and they will help you with any questions you may have, assist you with any suggestions we may have about what times they end, or any information concerning bus service, like, I'm catching the bus, what time does that bus leave, when's the last bus. So yes, we'll have 2 employees there at all times.
So somebody gets to the state fair and says, okay, I want to take the shuttle. They go to the Casino Downs, they see an employee and they say, when I just came here from, say, the Uptown Transit Center near Coronado Center, when would I be able to catch my bus? Could they find that out?
Absolutely. In fact, we were laughing about it at work because we made these handy dandy sets of schedules. I couldn't think of the word. Schedules that have the ending times for all the routes. So it made it easier for the employee to just look at it and say, hey, the last bus leaves at that time. Plus, we're going to have schedules there for the employee to look at too. But yes, they'll be able to get any information they would need concerning when their last bus leaves. Any bus, 66, 766, 157, any of them.
Now, the first Saturday of the State Fair is September 13th. That's the day that they have the State Fair Parade. We'll talk more about that. But on the State Fair Parade, sometimes we get calls at ABQ Ride saying, I want to catch that shuttle, but I don't know if it'll be running because there's that street, which would be Louisiana, is cut off. It's away from, you're not allowed to get to that. Well, is the shuttle affected in any way?
The shuttle will not be affected, again, because it's not on Central or Louisiana. It's actually contained within the fairgrounds. We'll still be providing the shuttle. You can still show up that day, and we'll still take you to the main gates.
Now, we have some exciting news in the sense that for the very first time in State Fair history, it is teaming up with not only the New Mexico Rail Runner Express, but also with ABQ Ride to offer a deal that you really can't miss up. This is something that not only saves you money in getting into the fair, but also will save you money in getting transportation, and you can be practically anywhere. It's something called the Enchantment Pass. And I know we were working with New Mexico Rail Runner Express for a long time, and of course the parent group of the Rail Runner Express, which is Rio Metro. Jay Fott is here. Explain, what is the Enchantment Pass?
Well, the Enchantment Day Pass is actually a great value for anybody who wants to go to the state fair, whether they live in Santa Fe or they're coming from Berlin or they have relatives throughout the entire Rail Runner corridor. They can use the Enchantment Day Pass, and it's actually a great value because it's $7 entry into the state fair. Normally that cost to get into the state fair is $10, so that in of itself is already a great value. But then we're also throwing in free public transportation on the Rail Runner and ABQ ride. So you get your transportation from Santa Fe or Berlin or anywhere along the Rail Runner corridor, and your bus connection is free, and your entry to the state fair, all of that for only $7. So it's an amazing value.
Of course, we're talking that there's also tiers. Adults is $7,
Right.
and kids and seniors go in cheaper.
Right, that's actually $6, so it's a little bit cheaper for kids and seniors.
Now, what if somebody buys this and uses it, takes ABQ ride, takes the Rail Runner, then takes ABQ ride from the Alvarado Transportation Center over to the State Fair, and then they say, well, you know what, we're having so much fun, we're going to stay over, and then we'll go tomorrow. It's not quite working that way.
Yeah, it is called the Enchantment Day Pass, and the key to that is the day pass. So you do need to use all your transportation pieces in one day and get into the fair. So basically, you choose which day you're going to go to the fair, and you use the transportation on that same day.
Now, we were talking when we were first putting this together about the kind of savings that you could get. I mean, we're talking some pretty decent savings. Normally, most people might consider, if they're not in Albuquerque, to drive in and then park and then go into the fair. In this case, it's kind of a cumulative savings that you can get.
It can. Really, a family of four can save over $40 with this pass, so it really is a savings. Normally, it costs $10 to get into the fair for an average adult. It costs $10 for a day pass between Santa Fe and Albuquerque. And then your bus ride is about $1 each way, I believe, isn't it? But it's free with your Rail Runner ticket. So really, there's quite a savings there.
And just for Annette, real quick, can somebody reuse that the ABQ ride portion that goes from the Alvarado Transportation Center to the fair and back? Can they reuse it the next day?
No. Again, as Jay has indicated, it's intended for the day, so you should use it only during that day.
Now, if someone wants to, I mean, there's three portions to the pass. There is the one that's the admission, discounted admission. There's another one that is the Rail Runner Express, another one to ABQ Ride. Do you have to use all three portions at the same time or on the same day, or can you just choose to use one part of that?
Well, we certainly encourage people to use the free public transportation with the pass, but that is certainly not a requirement. If somebody just wants to buy the pass for the discount to get into the fair, they are welcome to do that. And that's still a savings because you're normally paying $10 to get into the fair. With the pass, you're only paying $7 or $6 for seniors and kids. If people wanted to just use it for the Rail Runner, because it's a discount on the Rail Runner by itself as well, you could do that as well. We encourage people to use it all together as one pass as it was intended for, but certainly you can use it in any of those pieces.
If somebody is coming up, say, from southern New Mexico and parks in Belen, or lives in Belen, or coming in from northern New Mexico, or lives in Santa Fe, where do they get off the train to get the bus?
Yeah, they should get off at the downtown Albuquerque station, and then from there we're going to have a Rail Runner staff that will be at the station to help people find their bus connections and answer any questions they may have about how to get to the fair, and be sure that they know what time to catch the train and the bus to get back after their day is through. So we'll have people there. But get off the downtown Albuquerque station, and then we will direct you to one of the buses that run up and down Central. It would be the Route 66 bus or the 766, or the other one is the 777? Okay, one of the rapid ride lines.
Exactly. In fact, of all those, there's several buses that are involved. There are actually four bus routes. I think I have that right. 4 bus routes involved. We're talking about the ones that ply up and down Central.
Yes, correct.
66.
766.
Which is the Rapid Ride Red Line, and the 777, which is a Rapid Ride Green Line. And is there another one involved? I think it's the one that goes to the Northwest Transit Center.
Right, that's the 157. So, hypothetically, not related necessarily to the Rail Runner, but if you catch the bus at the Rail Runner station, you could actually, at the Northwest Transit Center, you could actually ride into the state fairgrounds or near the state fairgrounds.
ABQ Ride shuttles from the Downs Casino into the fair are running on Friday, Saturday, and Sundays of the fair. But people might take a look at this Enchantment Pass and say to themselves, well, can I use it every day, any day of the week? There's no specific limit on when you can use that during the fair, is there?
No, not at all. You can use this any day of the week. So you just actually determine which day you're going to go. And then we have this handy brochure that will also allow you to pick basically which trains work for you on a weekday and which trains you can catch to the fair on a weekend, on a Saturday or Sunday. And we've just really picked out those times that work exactly to get you from the train to the bus connection and right to the fair. We pretty much spell it out in this brochure that is also available where the tickets are sold.
Where can you get that brochure?
Okay, so you can get this brochure at all of the Walgreens in the state of New Mexico. That's also where you get your Enchantment Day Pass, at any Walgreens in the state of New Mexico. Or you can actually download the brochure at the Rail Runner website at nmrailrunner.com.
So if somebody is curious as to when the last train is, because it is a day pass, meaning that you're going to have to use it on that certain day, they can go to that brochure?
They can go to the brochure and exactly see what time they need to leave the fair and what time they need to get on the bus and what time the train leaves to get them back to either Santa Fe or to Belen. One thing I do want to point out too is that the state fair is open later than the train operates. So be sure that you don't miss that last train. Be sure to consult this brochure so you know what time you need to get on that bus to catch that train.
You know, that sounds like, I know this thing has been in the works for a long time because I've seen the you know, some of the work that has gone by, and we've had meetings before, but that must have taken a long time to try to coordinate the train schedules with the bus schedules. That seems like an awful lot of trying to sync everything up.
Well, you know, I think the ABQ Ride and the Rail Runner work so well together, and since basically the Rail Runner started, we've actually worked together to time those bus connections out. And so really, we haven't created any special train schedule or any special bus schedule for the fair. It's just our existing schedules. But we wanted to make it as easy as possible for the public to understand, so we created a special brochure that really highlights how to do it. So really, we're just holding people's hands with this brochure and showing them how easy it is. It's as simple as 1, 2, 3.
And if somebody sees this show but hasn't yet gotten to Walgreens to get the pass or whatever, there's a website that they can simply go to get that information. What would that website be?
That's right. It is on the Rail Runner website, and that is nmrailrunner.com, and they can download the brochure there. There's also other articles on the website that explain a little bit more about the pass as well.
And we'll have that, of course, and it is part of our show today to be able to include that. Now, one of the things that we want to do also talk about is that a lot of times people will get on a bus and they'll say, well, that they have attempted in the past, they'll get to the fair and they'll say, well, I paid my bus fare. That should be good enough for me to get into the fair. That's a bus fare and entrance into the state fair are not inclusive. They're more exclusive.
Exactly, except for those individuals that buy the Enchantment Pass, the
Yes.
Enchantment Day Pass. So if you have not purchased the Enchantment Day Pass and you select to take a fixed route bus to the state fair, then that does not include your state fair gate admission. So, you know, you need to think of that when you're getting on and off the bus. But again, I think this is a great alternative to, you know, driving either from Santa Fe or Belen, or even if you live within the city of Albuquerque. It's a great opportunity for you to not have to deal with the crowds and parking down there.
Exactly.
You don't have to walk. I mean, we're going to let you off right there. You can, you know, it's basically an easy walk. We're going to have a shuttle for you to get close to the admissions gate. And I think it's a great way to get people to see a different side of the story, which is public transportation. You know, a lot of people have never ridden the Rail Runner. They've never been on a bus. This is an opportunity for them to use both modes and actually see that, wow, this is a really viable alternative. Afterwards, I may just do this more often, you know?
Exactly, and that brings up a very good point. A lot of people that could be using this, it might be the first time that they've ever used public transportation. And that's why we're going to have people at the downtown Albuquerque station that will help them and answer any questions they may have. And then once they get to the fair, ABQ Ride will
Right.
have staff there. They can help them coming the other direction or when they get off the bus there. So we're there to help you along the way to be sure that public transportation really can be something that you can put in your life.
And you can kind of heighten the experience in a way, because anytime you go to something like the fair, especially with children or an amusement park, there is a shared experience. There's kind of a ratcheted level of energy. And when you have that, it's kind of, when you're sharing that experience, you can kind of heighten that when you're in the quarters of a New Mexico Rail Runner Express train, when you're in a bus, when you're going there. You possibly could make that experience a little bit more enjoyable as you're sharing in the excitement.
You know, we like to say your experience begins the moment you step on the train. And let's enjoy that experience from the moment you step on the train through the state fair, through the bus and everything. It's a true experience.
Now, we want to talk a little bit about the first Saturday of the State Fair. That would be September the 13th, because on that day, the State Fair has its annual State Fair Parade. And on that day, of course, it uses a certain chunk of Central Avenue to be able to stage the floats, run the parade down, and then go ahead and bring the floats into a certain area. So what are we talking about? There's going to have to be detours on that day.
There are detours, yes.
How early do they start? Or is it from the beginning?
It's from the beginning of the route that start for ABQ ride, and actually it's ironic because Rick and I just had this conversation. So it's at 5:30 a.m. It will be the first detour. That's the beginning of our service, and it's going to run till about 2 o'clock. Again, if the barricade company does a little, if they can get out there fast and get the barricades down, then we'll lift the detour. But it basically right now is running from 5:30 to 2 o'clock.
So that means that the routes that utilize Central for much of their route, again, the 66 Central, and then the two rapid rides, the 766 Rapid Ride Red Line and the 777 Rapid Ride Green Line, they will be on detour. And how will the detours go, at least for what you have?
So you're right. It is a very big chunk of Central Avenue. It's actually from San Mateo to Eubank, and so they will detour onto San Mateo to Lomas, and then Lomas over to Eubank, and then back to regular route. So you're right. For the duration of the State Fair Parade, we will have a detour, but we'll also be providing shuttle services on those main streets, specifically San Mateo, Louisiana. So if you get off at Lomas and San Mateo, we'll have a shuttle that will shuttle you back to Central, because that is a long distance to get from basically Lomas to Central, and then we'll have one also on Louisiana to shuttle people back and forth.
Now, there's a couple of other routes involved. It's the Wyoming route, which is the number 31 route, and also the Louisiana Montano Uptown route, which is at 157. Those in particular may be affected, or will be affected
They will
as well.
be affected, right. And so it's not just east-west routes that get affected, it's northwest routes, because of course they cross Central. And so, we have to detour those ones also. So again, we'll provide a shuttle service for those segments, basically from Lomas to Central.
So, of course, the 157 Montano Uptown, Louisiana, will have no service south of Lomas, and the Route 31, Wyoming, will have no service south of Copper. If we're looking to find where those detours are and where the maps are, because we will have detailed maps, where should we look?
You should look on our website, which is myabqride.com, and we post all of those. And we'll put detour notices on all the bus stops, letting know that there will be a temporary bus stop closure on that date and the times. But again, you can also call us at 243-RIDE, 243-7433, and we can provide that information to you. You can also call 311 and get information if that's an easier mechanism for you.
Now, we were dealing with the first weekend in the fair. Now we're talking about the run of the fair, which will be Wednesday, September the 10th, all the way through Sunday, September 21st. There will be several stops, many bus stops along Louisiana and Lomas, closed throughout the run of the fair. Now,
Yes.
and several bus routes will be affected by this. Number one is the one that runs along Lomas. That's the number 11 Lomas bus.
Correct.
And that goes all the way from the 10th to the 21st. What are we looking at as far as the stops?
So for that particular route, the number 11 Lomas route, we will be closing all of the bus stops that are eastbound from San Pedro to Louisiana. So again, any curbside bus stop, San Pedro to Louisiana, headed eastbound, will be closed. And again, we'll make sure we put notices on for individuals to know that those will be closed.
But there will be a stop that the 157, or should I say that the 11 will serve, and or let me go back. I don't want to confuse things. That's the situation with the 11.
With the 11 only.
Now, the 157 bus, which goes through the Uptown Transit Center, goes all the way to the North West Transit Center near
Yes.
Cottonwood Mall, and also the 766 Rapid Ride Red Line, which goes theoretically from Uptown near Coronado all the way to downtown. There will be stops that are shut down, but for those, we're only talking about just the weekends of the fair, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, which would be the 12th, 13th, and 14th, and then the very next week, which would be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the 19th through the 21st. We're talking about what kind of stops will be closed for those two routes.
Right. It's actually a combination. So during the duration of the fair for all of those routes, between Louisiana and Central, between Lomas and Central on Louisiana headed southbound, all those stops will be closed, except for the one that's right at Central, basically. Those
Sure.
will be closed during the duration of the fair. But you're right, during the weekends, from noon on Fridays till Sunday evening at 4 o'clock, we will be closing the stops that are basically from the freeway to Lomas, and we'll be sending them on a different alternative route.
Except for one stop,
One stop.
and that's at Louisiana and Central.
Yes.
So if folks are thinking, well, where am I going to get on or where am I going to get off, that's going to be the stop.
We'll get you there. I promise you we'll get you there. I know it seems kind of interesting how we're doing it, but we have found if we don't do that, then it takes us a lot longer to get from the UTC to the State Fairgrounds if we don't do that. So
Now, one of the things we wanted to mention is that we have a page on our myabqride.com website that if people go to the very front there, amongst the things that they'll see is a way they can click on the 2014 State Fair and how ABQ Ride is part of that. It has all of the information we talked about today, including, and will have because the information should be on there about the State Fair, parade, and the detours involved. And of course, if you go to the detour, you go to that link there within that page, or if you go to the detours page, you'll be able to see where the different detours are running. And in addition to that, there is a link that has the Enchantment Pass. It very briefly describes what's exactly on the Enchantment Pass, what it entails. And you can also go to the New Mexico Rail Runner Express page that explains everything you want to know about that Enchantment Pass. In addition to the New Mexico State Fair page, there's a link to that, and that will give you everything you want to know also. I'm thinking within those three things, you're going to pretty much find out what you can accomplish and how much you can save. But all of that is available. Of course, New Mexico Rail Runner Express has its website, and the New Mexico State Fair, exponewmexico.com /State Fair, I believe. But if you look on the website and ABQ Ride, don't sweat it. Just click on there. You'll be fine. But all of that information combines. We're hoping that will provide a really easy experience for you, a really fun experience, something you can share. And of course, you don't have to necessarily catch the train from Belen. You can catch it, gosh, you could even catch it from 2 stops down. You could be over at Rio Bravo.
You could, or you could be at Los Ranchos, just right here in town. So even if you are in town, you can just catch the train and use the
that
bus
actually
connection.
sounds fun.
Yeah, make it an
something
experience even if you're in
different.
town.
Yeah.
People always think of the rail runner as more long distances as far as Santa Fe or Belen, but really you can use it for short distance trips in Albuquerque as well.
That actually sounds fun.
It does. In so many places, there you can park your car, and it's free parking, whether you go from Los Ranchos or Bernalillo. There's a lot of people that park at that Bernalillo station, or that live even along some of the Pueblo stops. Kiwa, for instance, has parking that is open all the way through it. It's absolutely free. So make it an experience. And that's what we're trying to do, really, is to make it an enjoyable experience, not only to experience the fair, but also experience public transportation that goes with it. Thank you all for being here today. I sure
you.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
We try to do this every year. We do this every year, but we always want to make it as clear as possible as to what we have going on. So thank you very much. First of all, Jay Fott, the marketing manager for New Mexico Rail Runner Express, and Annette Paez, our associate director at ABQ Ride. I'm Rick DeReyes, and I hope you enjoy the State Fair. I hope you take public transportation to it. Save yourself a lot of money, a lot of hassle, and a lot of time, and I guarantee I think you're going to really enjoy yourself. So until we see you again, thank you very much. Take care.